you for that. Now, let's talk money. Prof, it costs a lot for a state to manage non-communicable diseases. And I think we have examples. If the NHS shows you their budget for the management of non-communicable diseases, it is scary, it's staggering. And Ghana, at this point where we are now trying to implement the wonderful policies and laws that we've written, obviously the consideration of cost is key. It's probably the reason why we haven't done much so far. Let's try and break down that cost. First of all, let's talk about how much it costs an individual to manage even one non-communicable disease, let alone some of us who have two. Right, and then let's build it up to the national numbers. Let's get an idea of the cost of what we want to do.
All right, thank you very much, and good evening once again. And let me thank Farm Access and your station for lifting this to a higher level so that we can all begin to have conversations about it. And so, yes, we can pick just one. And normally I would want to take hypertension because that's a big issue in Ghana. Of course, diabetes is also a big issue, and oftentimes these two, they go together. I mean, there's been a recent study about Ghana. I mean, there are all manner of studies. We know that all of them are not, if you like, what they give is they are basically estimates. But I think the recent study on Ghana puts the costs per month something around a minimum of about $4.3 million to about $5.7 million, averaging around $535 a month per person. And this is actually treatment costs, okay? It is treatment cost. And the irony is that these figures are based on national health insurance prices. And so I would say that this is significantly underestimated because everybody would tell you that if you pick national health insurance prices for services, the way she would tell you that they are way below the market price. And I think that one of the things the current CEO is trying to do is for them to revise the tariffs to ensure that they are consistent with market prices. And I think that I applaud the National Health Insurance for that. So you can see that this figure of 535 per month for treatment is way underestimated. But for me, that is not just the issue because this is just treatment cost. Then we need to talk about opportunity cost. So the person who goes to hospital loses the ability to make income for that particular day. Then you can then talk about the cost of disability in addition to this. And again, think of it also that in Ghana, a huge proportion of what we pay at the hospital is subsidized by the state. And so then you then talk about, for instance, her salary is paid by the state. So this is not part of this money. So you can look at this and see that this is some sort of very, very significant cost per individual, per month. And so for me, this is something that's like, he said the World Bank estimating something around, he says 6 billion annually. And that's, I'm not too sure whether we would be able to afford that. And even if it were $535, I am asking, what is the average daily wage in Ghana? And if you multiply the average daily wage by, let's say, 28 days, how much do people earn and how much do they commit to treating this? So if you look at it from that way, then you can see that it's a major issue. I know that as we go along the conversations, we may be talking about how do we get the money to finance this. And I think that when we get there, we can have conversations about this. But